Hi, this is Angel Jones. I love great conversations where life's journey is communicated not only through words, but tones and emotions. Explosive expressions that allow you to feel what they felt and learned. A fool learns only from his own mistake, while the wise learn from their own and from those others have made. Thanks for being here with us. Good morning, Valerie Young. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I am fabulous, Angel.
Oh, you sound fabulous, Valerie.
Thanks.
So tell me, Valerie, which of your talents is responsible for us meeting?
Multiple talents, I guess. I have two businesses, Angel. Impostorsyndrome.com, which is for people who kind of had that I'm in over my head and they're going to find out I don't know what I'm doing. And changingcourse.com, which is for people who want to find a way to make a living without a job. But I would say that the talent that makes me successful in both of those is I have a really strong work ethic. I had three jobs in college, and it never interfered with my drinking career whatsoever. It's all time management, Angel.
So who did you learn this skill from? This hard working etiquette.
It never, honestly, I have to say, that's why I kind of joke about it, but it just, you just kind of do what you have to do. My parents didn't have a lot of money. If I want, they paid for my tuition, but I had to pay for my housing and my books. And, it just didn't seem that difficult. I've been working since I was 14. I think I just come from this kind of people who get up and do what they need to do. And sadly, I find a lot of people aren't successful in the things they're doing, not out of lack of talent or gifts, but they just don't stick with it.
Yeah. The willingness and the skillingness. I heard that last night in a conversation. But do you think, because you're playing with my thoughts now, do you think that it's really fueled by your ability to see what the value of work is, vision?
Yeah, I think you have to have there has to be some value in what you're doing. It has to be connected to something, whether that's literally, paying the rent, so it's very fundamental. Or, I used to work in a major corporation. I spent I drove 90 miles a day to my job, an hour each way. So to me, my mom passed away. She was 61 years old. She was 5 months away from retirement. So that became the wake up call, the really driving motivation for me to say life is too short. And I'm going to do everything I possibly can to reclaim my life and be my own boss.
Amazing. Yeah, it's something like with you, and I could be wrong, but it's just something as though because I know people who work hard, and they work hard, and then they work hard, but it seems as though you have in working hard you get sight. Like you're working hard because it's a natural thing, but then you get vision, and I mean it's two websites that you call there, right? That
Mhm.
doesn't come just like that, right? So why will you continue to repeat the skill of working hard?
I think it's about being able to create the life you really want.
Yeah,
Um, and you're right. There are people all over the world who get up every day and do work incredibly hard and aren't getting anywhere. And I think for me, that's why I love entrepreneurship, because it takes the control out of someone else's hands and puts it in your hands of
yeah.
being able to kind of craft something and grow it and kind of be able to give yourself a raise, or if the economy tanks, which is frightening for everyone, but to still have a little bit more control than if you had a job.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for entrepreneurship as well. Fully endorse that as well. Share with me one thing that you've done consistently over the past 3 years, please.
Uh, I think I tend to think big. I think most people think too small. Their vision is too small. And I've always looked at it, well, why not me? Right? Like, why, if I tell people, if you saw a magazine and you picked it up and you read about this person doing all these things that are part of your dream, does it seem realistic? And if it does, then why not you? Then you be the person.
I love that. Why not you? I was looking at a picture of a massive building today, and I thought, okay, a man built that, so I can build that if I wanted to. And you come with the answer, right? Why not you?
Why
I
not?
love it.
Well, and the thing is, when you look at that massive building, Angel, and that's a great example, you realize it started with one step, like call Fred, see if meeting room is available Tuesday at 2. Any major, whether it's a nonprofit or, a corporation or anything, any huge initiative, all started with one very, very tiny first step.
Why would you suggest someone do what you've done, my dear?
Oh gosh, I mean, I know being self-employed is not for everyone, but I think it's not even about the work so much, Angel. It's about having control over your life and time. And to me, that is really the only true success. Not money, I mean, I do well. I've worked very hard and built 2 successful businesses. I get to speak at, Apple and Facebook and Harvard and Stanford, and I have 26,000 newsletter subscribers. And I've worked over 20 years to build that. But the real joy is creating the life I really want. And also the work I do makes an impact on people's life. And that's just incredibly gratifying.
Yeah, I could hear it in your voice. Ooh, I'm proud of you, Valerie.
Aren't you nice? And I'm proud of you. What an amazing project you're doing. This is so ambitious, and yet, you're doing it.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, my friend. Let's switch gears for a bit now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Valerie, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh my goodness, my earliest childhood memory. Probably, gosh, it would probably be at my grandmother and my great-grandmother's house. We had a lot of kids, so when you go to your grandmother's house, you get to be special. So probably things like, baking pies, cooking in the kitchen with them and their aprons. And I found that very cozy and comfortable.
How old do you think you were in that earliest childhood memory?
I mean, I wasn't 3. I'd have to really think about really going back to an early childhood memory, but certainly, 4 or 5. I don't think I was all that helpful in the kitchen.
Why do you think this memory in particular is so clear?
Why is it so clear?
Yeah.
I think it was about being special. Again, when you have a big family with a lot of kids and your parents are working very hard, it's hard to get that individual attention. So to be, kind of special and have these wonderful adults all to yourself, and then of course add in, apple pies, the smell of apple pies, baking and making something, with your hands and getting to see it go from one thing to another. I mean, all of that is very powerful imagery and experiences.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, my interpretation of that thought picture is just you and the love for creation, and you're creative, just what goes in. There's an entire process going on there in the kitchen, right? Mm-hmm. And as much as it's the baking, a lot has to do with the love. Mm-hmm. And we all know the difference with a pie made with love and one not made with love, and a business built with love and a business not built with love. And I'm guessing you found that right there. You identified with that, even right there in Granny's kitchen.
Oh yeah. And I think that's really astute how you put that together. That's a wonderful question that you asked, and I love how you wove that together with my business.
You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh gosh, I couldn't tell you a favorite song. I'm not good at picking out favorite things, but I was, of course, a big Beatles fan in the generation that I grew up in. I was quite convinced at 12 that I was going to marry Paul McCartney.
I think
I had
it's
big,
like the
big
seventh
visions.
time I've heard that.
Really. You couldn't tell me any different. I knew we were destined to be together.
So you aren't going to pick one song, okay? All right. We've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, or a bit more. Valerie, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
It is very funny that you say that because I'm actually in the process of doing that. Potentially, I've had the changingcourse.com business for 21 years, and I'm really now looking to find somebody who can take that and run with it and add, come in with a new insight and ideas and perspectives and gifts and really take it to more people in a bigger, more fabulous way. So I'm looking for that person as we speak.
Wonderful. Are you married?
I'm not.
Do you have children?
I do not. It seemed like such an adult thing to do, Angel.
To not have children?
No, to have children.
Okay.
I never felt old enough to have children. It always felt like such an adult thing to be a parent.
That is the first time I've had that answer. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do. I can't say that I'm not in a particular religion, but I have a very strong faith in God and in a higher power, that things happen for a reason, with the exception of horrible, tragic things like the Holocaust and so on. But yeah, I definitely do. And I think to be an entrepreneur, you have to have faith. And if I could just say very quickly, there was an article a number of years ago. A couple of researchers found that entrepreneurs pray more than other occupations. And the interpretation was that they were praying for, like, oh, please, God, let me have the money to pay my employees this week, or to be profitable. And I looked at it differently. They're assuming that you're always praying for something. And I look at prayer as praying out of gratitude about something. Like, thank you, God, for letting me have this business and letting me make a difference in the world.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh, absolutely. I have friends that go back decades.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
There are some days that I do, certain evenings, certain programs that I like, but as a general rule, I try not to.
All right. What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 hours a day or less than 8 hours a day?
With one of my businesses, it would be, probably 8 hours, good 8 hours a day. If I'm speaking and traveling, then I'm pretty much offline.
Valerie, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would just really want to encourage your amazing audience to play big. I find more than money or time that confidence is the number one thing that holds people back. And again, I would just say, why not you?
Love it. Why not you? Valerie Young, thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Oh, thank you very much.
Amazing audience. Before you leave, there's one person I'd like to introduce you to, Amanda Jones. She is my wife, and her passion is to educate, encourage, and empower.
Hi, I'm Amanda Jones, and I'm a registered nurse. Do you or someone you know have diabetes? According to the International Diabetes Federation, in 2015 worldwide, 415 million people were living with diabetes. Just as that figure is overwhelming, so too can the effects of diabetes be. So, to help simplify diabetes for both adult and child, I've used rhymes in my books, The ABCs of Diabetes for Children and Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes. At its simplest, rhymes help us to remember. If you, a child or friend, want an easy, reader-friendly way to know about diabetes, then get a copy of these books. For more details, you can go to poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyag.com.